Good afternoon, traders. My name is Sithengema. We are about to start our technical analysis trading webinar. If you guys have any issues hearing me, please let me know so that I can go back and maybe fix my mic. Could you guys please type the messages? Okay, it is typing. Okay, Johnny Walker. Hi. Thanks, DC. Hi. Guys, I'm good. I'm good, John. How's it, guys? There are a couple of changes on this on this webinar program that I use here. It doesn't look very clear on my side. I don't know how it looks on your end, but I mean, there has been a couple of changes. Hi, Obi. How's it? There has been a couple of changes on it. They were trying to update it. Please tell me if you're happy with the screen. Are you guys happy with the screen? Can you see everything there that I'm showing? Oh, ATC is fine. Okay, that's good. Hi, Tompo. Well, Tompo Shibase. Obi saying, oh, you guys are saying it's better. Oh, I'm happy if you guys are saying that it's better. But on my end, ish, it doesn't look that great, but it's fine. I think I'll get used to it as time goes on. Okay, guys, please tell me, did anyone do any analysis over the weekend? If yes, what did you do and what did you find? You did on Forex. Okay, what did you find, Caesar? Euro USD looking bullish. Okay. What else? Okay, guys, who else did any analysis on this market, whether Forex or stocks? Oh, okay, no, that's fine, DC. You'll help me analyze MND and tell me what you see on MND? Do you think that it's a buy, it's a sell? If it's a sell, why? If it's a buy, why it's a buy? And where one should go in, where support and resistance levels are located, so that you can check if you can trick the trade or not. Okay, guys, for those of you that did not do any analysis on this market over the weekend, I'm sorry to say, but I think you are not serious. If you are serious about your trading, you must do your analysis over the weekend. Check what the market is doing so that you are ready. When the people send you stuff on Monday, you have your own stuff that you've been looking at. So you cannot rely on other people for trade ideas. You have to generate your own trade ideas. That is the only reason why we are doing this, so that you can be self-sufficient. Because I don't need to be the only person that comes and just says stuff all the time. You guys have to come up with stuff and give me that stuff, and we look at it together. So it's important that you take this seriously going forward, so that maybe we can see some profits maybe before the end of the year. Otherwise, you guys are gonna say trading is difficult, trading is not helping you, and you're gonna end up stopping trading. But you can only blame yourself by not putting in time and effort. Okay, we'll have a look at the currency pairs that were suggested by the three gentlemen, I think. Euro USD and the US dollar Swiss franc, and Obi mentioned something about 1.22800. 1.22800. I think that area is resistance. So we'll have a look at the Euro US dollar now. I'm really not too sure what's going to happen going forward, but I checked it on the 26th, 26th of March. That's when I had my first. Was it the 26th? Yeah, it was the 26th of March. 26th of March. I wrote in my diary here. I said possible double top forming on WTI. So from there, I expected to see maybe the price reversing, and that happened. It went below its moving average, is coming off. We can have a look at the price of Brent and see maybe where it's likely to go next. But that started actually around the 26th of March. You can check your charts if you have access. Okay, let's have a look at the Euro US dollar. I don't know, maybe you can check the monthly again. Let me see, the monthly on MND, check if it looks bullish. I haven't checked it, but I doubt if it looks bullish. I'll go and check maybe later. Okay, the euro. Let me see what. Let's check the monthly first. The monthly time frame is bullish. Multi time frame negative. Daily time frame negative. Okay, if you want to trade the euro US dollar, and we are using the same strategy that we use here, which is your moving averages, I mean, in conjunction with your support and resistance. I don't think that the euro is a buy at the moment. It hasn't really given us a clear signal there. I understand that it went down to our horizontal line here. Our horizontal line is around 1.22400. It hit that line. It closed above it on the 6th, and now it has some resistance around 1.22821 or 800 there. There's a good chance that we could see it maybe coming back down to 1.22400. But we are trading below we are still below our moving average on the daily time frame. So therefore, I think it's not a clear buy yet. I would want to see us maybe trading above the moving average around our support levels. We have our support around 1.22400, but I mean the moving average is still above the price, which means that the price is actually going to be under a bit of pressure. Yeah, it's under a little bit of pressure. So I'm not really happy about this buy here. Well, I mean, if you're buying blindly using that support that we have at 1.22400, yes, you can go ahead and take a trade there, but it's not a high probability trade. We may still see the euro maybe coming back down to this support area here, our second or third horizontal line at the bottom around 1.22. Around 1.22, we may still see the euro coming down there. So for me, this is not a high probability trade. I wouldn't take this one. I would skip it. I would skip this one. Plus, we have that resistance that Obi mentioned at 1.22800. So for that reason, I'll skip the US dollar. I do not see any screaming opportunity there. But thanks for thanks for the effort there, Sizwe. I think it's Sizwe. USD Swiss franc. Okay, let's start with the monthly. Monthly, yes, we are still below the moving average, although we've been moving up nicely over the past 2 months. Okay, sorry guys, I have too many lines here. But I mean, let me tell you what my what my issue right now is. I understand that we've been going up over the past like 2 months since Feb. I see every time this currency pair comes down to 0.95800 or 0.58900, it starts picking up. The only issue that I have is that overhead resistance around 0.96152 or 0.96200. You see this horizontal line that I drew here. Let me see if I can get another one because I got that one immediately. Maybe I can move this out here a bit. This area here, there's a bit of resistance around 0.96 200, 0.96 400. I think we have a bit of resistance there. If we can take out that resistance, I think we will likely move higher towards 0.97 400, 0.97 500. Let's see how the hourly looks. Okay. I'd wait and I'll wait and check this one out. If we get maybe a close above 96 400, yeah, I may go in and take a long to 97 400, 97 500. Otherwise, I can do a blind entry at 95 800. But ish, I'm not happy with that one because I mean this one could still actually come down below the moving average and actually come down to 95 100. I'm not really too sure about it. Let me check. Because I mean the main trend since the beginning of 2017, it's been down. So it may happen that we have this kind of situation happening here. You know, this here. We may have this kind of situation happening. It's just going up for now. At a later stage, it's going to start coming down below the moving average and actually move lower. So this is what I suspect is happening here. So I'm not really happy about the long, but I mean any close above 96 400 or 350, then maybe I may go in and take a long there. I don't know if you guys see that. Obi, are you happy with that? Are you with me? Can you see what I'm trying to point out here? Yeah, so that's my issue at the moment. Okay, Tabang, you're saying that it gave you a sell signal on the 6th. Let's check. You said the time frame is the daily. Let's have a look at it and see what it's on the 6th. Well, I see that we hit the resistance and we failed to take out that resistance. We came down to 95 800 and we're not done with 95 800 yet. We may still have to wait for the confirmation below the moving average. If you can get the confirmation below the moving average here, I wouldn't mind really taking a shot on the US dollar Swiss franc tabang, but at the moment that is not confirmed. It's not confirmed, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, now let's look at before we check Brent. Let's move. Let's check MND. This is the problem I have with MND at the moment, guys. I have support around 330, 331. Around 330, 331. Sorry, not support, resistance. Sorry, I think we have resistance around 330, 331. I understand that we went above the moving average on the 6th, and again on the 6th we are above the moving average, and today we are positive. But I do not think that this is sustainable. I think that the Mondi is still going to come off. It's just going up for now because maybe the rand has weakened a bit, and the markets globally are looking well. I mean, they are looking positive, and MND is a rand hedge. So if the rand weakens, MND and I mean likes it. So that is the main reason why we're seeing MND going up like this, and we don't know whether the rand is going to weaken further going forward. If it doesn't, we can further start reversing. We'll see all these gains that MND has enjoyed over the past couple of days being wiped off. So that's actually a fundamental picture. But I mean, if you are focusing more on the technical picture, I'm looking at the price struggling to go through or to break above 330, 331. I see this price is struggling there really. Let's check the monthly. Let's check how the monthly looks. Well, I mean, we had a positive month in March, and so far we have a good month. We are up 2%, but we are not trading above our moving average on the monthly chart. We are still below. So if we are still below, it means that there could still be a little bit more selling coming still. So I think it's important that we remain vigilant, and we are careful which trades we take and which ones we don't take. So at the moment, I understand that every time it comes down to this area here, 297, 285, 286 area, there are buyers that come in and push the price higher, but I'm really not happy with a buy at these levels. I would wait for a bit before maybe going in and taking a buy. Maybe if you are using the daily, you can wait for the 330, 331. If it takes out 330, 331, maybe yeah, it makes sense for one to go in, maybe looking for 339, 340. That's what I see on MND. Okay, I see. Caesar Gumbi says I see it. I guess we need to wait for 94. 1.4. I don't know. Do you think you're referring to CHF or to the US dollar? CHF. I think you're referring to the US dollar CHF. We should wait for 94. Yeah, okay. Before we move on to other stocks, let's have a look at BVT and TFG. I don't know if we did not have a look at BVT on Friday, but let's check it. Or Friday or Thursday, I can't remember exactly. I think I've already drawn these lines, so I'm not going to bother taking them away. Gert, I don't know which levels you referring to there. Are you referring well, I mean, on BVT, are you referring to 240, 242? I see that you're talking about a breakout. You never do anything until you get that breakout. Well, I mean, when drawing, John, when drawing my trend lines, I use the bodies. I use the close, where the price close. I don't use the wicks or the tails. I don't use them. Okay, guys. Okay, you've sent too many things. Maybe I must first finish a stock or first finish a currency pair before you give me another one, because I mean the new system that we have now, it looks different. I have to scroll up and down the whole time. So PVT on the daily. Let me have a PVT on the. Sorry about that, guys. Well, I mean, the momentum is positive. If you check on the monthly chart is saying that it's a buy. It came down to that support we had around 215, and it bounced off it. It went higher. So let me see. 215. We are trading above our moving average. I think we're going to 230, 238.50, 239 to 249. Oh, sorry, to 242.50. Even 250 on Bidvest, I think is 250. I think is possible on Bidvest. We'll wait and see if that does really play out. TFG. Let's have a look. We spoke about TFG on Friday. Let's see how it's doing. 211, 220. Let me see. Yeah, TFG is still under a lot of pressure. On the daily, you see it's trading below its moving average. So for that reason, we cannot do anything there. Maybe when it comes down, maybe to 201, 200 levels, maybe we can look to take a long there. But I mean, well, when you take a long around 200, 201, you must understand that you are doing a blind entry, which is a little bit difficult. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's have a look at your bulletin, John. Bulletin, we had that double top around 228, 229. It went up to hit our our resistance on Friday, the 6th. It was actually the high on the day was actually 241, and it came down. It ended the day okay on the red, down 2.5%. Sorry, guys, down 2.5%, and today it looks like we are positive. So right now we are stuck between 228 or 229 and 240. Before we take that area out, I wouldn't really want to get involved here on Billiton, because it could trade sideways for a bit every time it gets to 240 now, because I mean 240 was our support, but I mean it's no longer our support, it's now our resistance. Every time it gets there, sellers come in and sell it. So I don't know whether I'm comfortable selling it there at 240. But I mean, if you are an aggressive guy, 240 is an area that you need to look at if you want to take a shot on Billiton. And 228, 229 is support. We must look out for those and see what the market does each time it approaches those levels. Okay, let's check SBK. Mm, SBK monthly time frame is looking good. I'm happy with this. We are trading above our moving average, this thick red line. When we looked at Standard Bank last, we said Standard Bank was likely to do one of these. You see these pink lines here that I've just drawn here, pink or blue, I don't know. These lines, they do this, goes up, they do this, goes up, do this, goes up. So here, I think we're having the same thing. As long as we are still around 208, 210, I think there's still a chance that Standard Bank is going to break up above its moving average and start moving higher around those levels. But at the moment, it hasn't given us any reason for us to look at it as a buy. Right now, I still look at it as a stock that is just pulling back a bit, but I mean, it's going to recoup, I think, most of these losses over the next couple of weeks. Let's just wait for the close above the moving average. The moment we get the close above the moving average, then we can go in and take a long on this one. Because I mean, we still have that support around 209, 208 levels. So yeah, I think it's looking good. But you cannot just go in yet if you are, more especially if you are not a long-term investor. If you're someone who's just looking to get a good entry, I think the best time to enter maybe is around 210, 208, 210, 208. I think there you can get a good entry, more especially if it agrees with your daily simple moving average. It's above the 50 MA, but I mean, has it closed above the 50 MA? Because I mean, that's what is important. That's important. You must check whether it's closed above the MA. If it hasn't closed above the MA, it means very likely, huh? Okay, this is the US dollar Japanese yen. We looked at it this morning in our morning meeting. I think there is an area that I need to highlight here. This area is very big, actually. This area with the dotted line, it's at 107.749 or 107.74. Around that area, we have resistance, but I mean, that's where I think the US dollar Japanese yen is going. I think from this 106.800, I think we're going to go up to 107.800 or 107.74. I think that's where our resistance is. If you want to take a chance there, you can go in and make sure that maybe you keep your stop just below your, okay, this kind here. What is the low? The low there is 106.70. Maybe you can make your stop 106.65. Make your stop maybe 106.65, just 5 pips. Okay, 106.65. 10665 targeting maybe 107 800. Check if you get a 1 is to 2 there. If you do get one, then you can go in and take that trade, because I mean, to me it looks like it's gonna move higher. If you let's look at the 1 hourly time frame. 1 hourly time frame at 4 this morning, it closed above. On the daily is positive already. It's saying it's a buy. So the hourly at 4, we closed above the 10 simple moving average and we started moving higher. and around this area here it started struggling, but at 11 o'clock it managed to break above that horizontal support line, that horizontal resistance line that we have there. And currently it came down to this support line. It's going up, so I think maybe from here we could see it going much higher than this, eventually hitting the previous support that we had on this one. So it looks like you can go in and take a long on this one. I don't know what was your thinking on the US dollar Japanese yen? Let me check who did it. Caesar, what was your thinking there? Oh, okay, Caesar, I'll wait for you to finish your typing. Okay, so Caesar, you're saying yes, it's looking like a long, although I'll wait for sell cost resistance is what I also have on my side. I don't know which resistance are you talking about. Are you referring to that one point? Let me check now. Are you referring to that 107 400 107? Because I mean, the other guys are saying that there is resistance around 107.40 or 107.4. But I mean, the one that I'm really focusing on is 107 800. I understand that we have some problem around 107 400. We may see the stock maybe reversing around 107 400. But I mean, the main one for me is 107. Well, I'm looking at 107.8 flat, you know. When I see, I'm looking at that 1.87 flat, but we'll see what happens, you know. We'll see what happens. Maybe you're right there. You'll get that tiny bit over the 800, the 830. Okay, guys, this market is very choppy. There is a big war of words between China and the US. So you see this market going up today, the next day it's down. So we don't know what's going to happen next. We have a couple of levels that we are looking at on the indices. I think that when the market maybe takes out those levels, maybe we could see a little bit of stability in this market. But right now, it's not stable at all. Anything is possible because I mean these guys haven't really decided when they are going to sit around the table and act like gentlemen. They've just been throwing stones at each other until at this point, you know. So we really don't know what's going to happen going forward. If you guys have more, please give me those so that we can look at them. We've actually covered a lot in a very short space of time. We've covered a lot, I think. Oh, did you not do Brent? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Sorry, sorry, sorry. My bad. Okay, I'll show you what I was talking about. You see this top here that we had here? I'll put the horizontal line on the double top I was referring to. This is the double top I was referring to. This is the double top. This was the 26th. It hit that area. Again on the 27th, it hit it, but it closed lower. Closed below the moving average. We are below the moving average now, so this is looking it's looking not so great, but as you can see, the trend is up. It's been up since June last year. So let's check how the monthly looks. The monthly is saying it's a buy, so you do not want to go against the trend and sell. It's possible that from on Brent, from 67, we may actually come down to 64. We may come down to 64 before getting maybe some buy signals on this market. But I suggest that we don't do anything. We just sit on our hands, wait for the market maybe to decide what it wants to do next. Does it come down to 64, where we should actually initiate our longs, or it doesn't? It just plays around. But I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. If you're an aggressive guy and you'd like to take a shot, you may take a shot, but you must know that your shot could be restricted there by 64. Let me see if I can get that. It could be restricted by 64 there. Around 64, I think there are buy orders there waiting because I mean the main trend on this one is up. So if you had maybe gone in maybe around 70 bucks taking a shot, maybe I would say, yeah, yeah, right. Oh, 64 is the target that you were looking at also, Caesar. Oh, well done, my man. I think you did a good job there analyzing that. Yeah, I think 64 is the level that we should keep an eye out for. Around 64, we could see the price reversing. But I mean, if you want to go in and take a long here, a short, you must know that you are going aggressive. We have the day simple moving average on our side. But I mean, all the other time frames are saying this one is still a buy. Let me check the 1 week. Yeah, I'm saying that is still a buy. Yeah, still a buy. Okay. Caesar is saying that he's smelling some money. Hey, yeah. Okay, Caesar. Okay, let's look at the CPI. John would like us to check CPI. Okay, CPI. CPI is Capitec. If any one of you don't know the ticker code for Capitec, it's CPI. Well, I mean, on the monthly chart, January this year, we went below the moving average. I think this was because of the Viceroy's report. Feb, we're up 4%, and March, we're up 3.6%. But that doesn't take away the fact that we are still trading below the moving average on the monthly chart. It does not take that fact away. Okay, let's check on the. Okay, okay, okay. Let's try and do this here. Okay, those are the three levels I'm looking at. No, is it four? I have four horizontal lines here. I have 950, which is our resistance. We have resistance at 950. We had support at 904 or 905, which has since been taken out. We have support around 855, and we have another support at 805. So if we get a a clear break below 855, we may see the price of CPI coming back down to 805, 800 levels. 805, 800 levels. If that doesn't happen, if 855 holds, we still have a 904, 905 as our resistance on this one. So it's very difficult to call this one because I mean it's going against the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame is saying up, no, saying down, and the daily is also below the moving average. At some point it was above, so I wouldn't really touch this one at the moment. I don't think that it gives us a good picture. Let me see how the weekly looks on this one. Okay, for the past 3 weeks, it has been going down. This week, if we close like this, then definitely we're coming back down to 805, 800 levels. That's how it looks to me, more especially with the rand being so weak against the US dollar. So I wouldn't try to buy this one. Are you happy with this one? I mean, John, it's not a long at the moment. I wouldn't take a long on this one. Okay, I wouldn't take a long on it. Let me see, what else can we look at here? Okay, okay. Let me look at a stock that I checked this morning. I think that is actually a short. I'm talking about this maybe for the 10th time. I don't know. For the 10th time. Okay. This is ARI. ARI went below its. Oh, okay. ARI, it went below its moving average on the end of March, and now we are in April. I think that we're still gonna see this one coming down to the levels that we mentioned. First target being 90. First target being 90, and from 90, I think we should. If the weakness persists, I think we should maybe come down to 80 bucks on this one. And there's another thing that you guys need to remember: on shorts, you do not pay any swaps. Actually, they pay you a bit of interest for holding those swaps. So I think every time it gets to 100, maybe even 102, 103, I think there are sellers waiting there with some orders to push down the price of ARI. So I think ARI at some point is going to break down and move lower, go back to the levels that I'm talking about here. The only issue that I have with the stock, okay, let me see, it was 10. The only issue that I have with the stock here is that we haven't had. Okay, I'm now looking at an hourly time frame now. On an hourly time frame, we haven't had a close below our moving average. We haven't really had a close below our moving average that's convincing. That says that you can actually go in and take a shot. Plus, if you look at that 98.85 or that 99 area, we have a little bit of support, and we haven't really taken that one out on an hourly closing basis. At 9, we failed to close below. At 10, we failed to close. At 11, we failed to close. And now it's going to be 12. At 12, I doubt you're going to close below that, but I think you must keep an eye out for this one. I think it's going to be a good shot maybe over the next couple of days. And if your stop is above 105, I think you are safe on this one. Maybe looking to take profits around 91 bucks. Taking profits maybe at 91 bucks or 90 even. I don't think that it's a problem. I think you get your 1:2 there, or you are very close to getting 1. Okay, where would you like us to start, Sizwe? Where would you like us to look at? Okay, you want us to look at the DAX? Okay, it's fine. Okay, let's look at the DAX. Let's see what's the high on this one. 28. Okay. DE30. Let's have a look at the DE30, guys. DE30, DE30. Oh, Aubrey, you asked me a question. You said which time frame do we consider when analyzing a day trade? Well, I mean, I like looking maybe first at the monthly chart and then coming down to the daily for the confirmation because I don't want to go against the main trend. Okay, if you're checking the DAX actually broke into a bearish territory end of Feb this year. In March, it was down 2.22%, and right now it's just picked up a bit. And I don't know why, but here we are trading below our moving average on the monthly time frame. Let us now go to our line chart to get our support. We are supported there at 11,940 or 11,939. We are supported there. Okay, that's our next support there. You see the support that we have here around 11,940. We hit that support. We've actually hit it a couple of times. We hit it here on the 9th of Feb. The market went up. We hit it again here on the 5th of March. The market went up. And again here in towards the end of March on the 26th, 23rd, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and finally we went higher. But it doesn't take away the fact that we're still on a downtrend here. Let us try and get our resistance using the daily time frame. Well, I mean, we have resistance around 12,400 on the DAX. Every time it gets to 12,400, there are sellers that come in and push the price lower, pushing it down to 11,940. So let's wait maybe for 12,400. If we do get to 12,400 today, we could see maybe sellers coming back in and selling the stock down. And if that doesn't happen, maybe because the S&P is not going to well, I mean, that could be because of the S&P. If the S&P fails to push hard today, because I mean, when I look at the S&P, I'm not really happy with the picture that I'm seeing there. The S&P does not look good. So anywhere between, I would say, 12,362 or 12,360 and 12,400, I wouldn't mind really going in and taking a shot on a bearish signal if I do get a bearish signal on this one. Like now, the horizontal line. How to do that? Let's check. The horizontal line that I drew there on an hourly time frame, it hit there at 10 o'clock. It failed to break above 11. It broke above, sorry, it came back down. So it looks like we're going to be breaking below the hourly time frame. I mean, the moving average. Once that's done, we could see this thing coming back down to 11,940 or even 11,800. So it doesn't look good to me. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing here. Okay, news are going to distract you, Caesar. I prefer that you don't look at the news because the news are going to frustrate you. Because I mean, there's a whole lot of good news coming out in this market, and the main focus right now is on Donald Trump and is it Xi Jinping or that Chinese guy. So the main focus is on those people at the moment. If they can reach a compromise and come and sit around the table and tell us what they think is going to happen next, then maybe I can look to buy this market. Then maybe those fundamentals we're talking about will come maybe to employment, inflation, business confidence, and all those things. At the moment, those things are being overlooked. The people are focusing more on what Trump and the Chinese guys are doing. To be quite honest, that's what is causing this volatility that we have in this market at the moment. So I think that's what we should keep an eye on at the moment. If it gets to levels where you think that you can sell the market, sell it and hope that these guys don't come up with some silly comments, because I mean those comments cause a lot of volatility in this market. It seems like Trump is coming back to his senses, because I mean the US market has been putting him under a lot of pressure lately. But let's see if he gives in to that pressure that the guys are actually throwing his way. Let's see what happens next. But I mean, the DEX looks like it's a short at current levels, and I expect to see it maybe coming back down to 11,400, 11,940, or 11,800. Down to 11,800, yes. Now let's check the S&P US 500. See if we can pick up anything there. Sure, my chart is busy, guys. It has too many lines. Okay, but forget about the lines. Let's look for. Okay, if you are looking at the US is still trading well above its moving average. It hasn't actually crossed below the moving average. You see, every time it tries to go below, buyers come in and push the price up. So for that reason, I think that we are still safe on the S&P. Any bounces, I think at the moment they should be bought, because we're still trading. Sorry, any dips at the moment, I think that they should be bought on the S&P, because we haven't actually had a close below the moving average yet, which could actually send this market coming down. Our uptrend is still intact, so I'm happy with the monthly time frame. Now let's go and have a look at our daily time frame. The daily time frame is negative, but if you look at this, there's a lot of support around 2,590. There's a lot of support around 2,590 on the S&P. Every time it gets there, it bounces off. Buyers come in, buy and push the price up. But I mean, I'm seeing some overhead resistance nearby around 2,630. You see this line here that I drew here. Okay. How am I gonna? Let me try and make it thicker. This thick blue line, I think that's where our current resistance is. Every time when it comes closer to that line is 2,628.97, and the high today on the US 500 is 2,628.38, and that line is 2,628.97. Let's wait and see what this market does. Maybe later today, we could see it maybe coming back down to 2,590 or even lower, 2,500 and 2,585. We could see it coming down to those levels because I mean, if you check our previous candle here, we closed below our moving average, and this one tried to challenge that moving average, and the sellers came in and pushed the price lower. You see, it went up to 2,628. Sellers came in, pushed the price down. So if we get a follow through, we could see this price really coming back down to 2,587 maybe later in the day. The S&P is not looking good, although we are above the moving average on the monthly time frame, which means that the market could see so around a lot, around 2,590, 2,580. That could be our turning point on the S&P, depending on how things pan out. We should just wait and see what happens and how these guys handle the situation. Okay, another thing that you need to check now, check your hourly time frame. Check how your hourly time frame looks. Your hourly time frame is at 12 it was below the moving average here, and this one is negative, so I think we are definitely going to see this market maybe coming down over the next couple of hours. That is the S&P. OB, yeah, that's the level. Like maybe right now 2,619, 2,620. I think one can actually go in and take a shot there. That's the level I'm looking at there. Okay, Obi, let's watch it and see what it does. But I think that, yeah, you can go in and take a shot on that one already. I think you'll make a bit of money maybe before the end of business today. Okay, guys, if we don't have any more questions, I think maybe we should end our session right now and go and study the markets and come back tomorrow with some questions and some suggestions. Oh, you have one. Oh, Obi, you want us to go back to Standard Bank? Okay, it's fine. We'll go back to Standard Bank. Oh, okay. Which time frame do you want us to look at? Why? What is the issue there? What would you like us to check out? Oh, okay, it's fine. We'll have a look at the daily and the hourly. But before we do that, Obi, I think we must check the weekly. Last week we closed down below our moving average. We were down 1.55% and 1.5, and today we are down. Well, I mean week to date, which is today, we are down 1.5%. So I think that we may still come down to that 208 we mentioned earlier, that 208 210 we mentioned. Okay, let me have a look at the daily. Well, I mean the daily is below the moving average, and each time it goes up to the to that simple moving average, they sell it down. They push it down. They push it down. Right now we are down 1.34%. So, like I said, it's possible for us maybe that we can even get to that 208, 210 area. Well, I mean, we are very close to that anyway. We are very close to that. I think there are some buy orders waiting around this area here, around 208, 210 area. I think we have some orders waiting there. Okay. Okay. Is that okay for you, OB? Is that okay? That's what, okay, but it's contradicting our monthly trend. Okay, that's what is confusing. How do you apply support and analysis? Mm. Obi, I don't know what's confusing you here because I think that the stock is likely to come down to 210, 208. If you look at the hourly, we may even get to 206. We can even call it like 206. It may even get to 206. Around 206, I would look to buy because I mean, let's go back to the monthly. I just want to see how the monthly looks. The monthly is still on a buy. The monthly is still on a buy. So if I'm a long-term investor, I would be happy to hold a long on this one. What's happening here, I think, is the same. Well, I mean, it's something like what happened here. You see, this was in 2017 June. No, December. The market pulled back. It went below its moving average and started moving high again. Here again, it went sideways for a bit. It went above. It went up. Here, it did the same. It went sideways. It came down a bit. It went up. So I think this is what we are experiencing here right now. The market is just pulling or pulling down a bit, around maybe 20, anywhere between 210 and 206. I think buyers are going to step in and push the price higher. I understand that this is in contradiction with our monthly time frame, which means that we cannot take a long or a short here until maybe we get to these levels I'm talking about. Once it gets to those levels, we must wait for a cross above the moving average on the daily time frame. Once you get that, you can maybe go in and take a long. At the moment, I think it doesn't make sense to go short on this one or to take a long. Wait for the market to get to those levels. Once it's gotten there, you get a cross above your moving average, then you can go in and take some money from this market. Obi, you're saying so our current analysis to short is more short term. Yes, I mean the hourly, the hourly time frame and the daily, they are very short term. Your focus shouldn't be on those. Your focus should be more on the longer time frames, because I mean they're the ones that lead what happens next year in this market. We should just wait for the market maybe to come lower down. Once it's there, it's going to pick up and start moving higher. So I wouldn't really bother myself about rushing to go in right now. Okay, someone said something here. Oh, Mncedi Simbopa, how do you apply support and resistance analysis? Okay, we'll have a look at that one for you now. Thank you for finding food. Oh, okay. Thank you, John. Okay. This is what this is what I always say. I say at each and every turning point in the market, you must make sure that you draw a horizontal line. Let us try. Which one can you use? Let me see. Can you use? Let's try and use BGA. Let's try and use BGA. We are using BGA. Let's use the monthly. Okay. Let's use the monthly chart. I want us to mark each and every turning point on a monthly chart. You can even do this on a weekly. This is the turning point I'm referring to. This turning point here. That's the turning point I'm referring to. I'm going to put a horizontal line across here. So once you do this, you know that you have a possible double top forming here. This was a double top forming on Barclays. Double top. I want us to focus on that at the moment. I want us to just focus on this. This is your resistance. This double top. Are you following this? But I mean, you're getting this using the monthly chart. Now you go back to your candles. When you go back to your candles here, you see that this was back in 2015 and this is in 2018. 2018, it failed to finish the month above our horizontal line at 199 or 200. It failed in Feb. It failed to do that. And in March, we were down 4%. Month to date, we are down almost 3%. Do you see that, guys? It hit. So 199 is an important area. So now maybe we can change to our daily time frame. We're still looking at the same resistance area, but now we may have to adjust our line here. Let me check. Let's check here. No, it's fine. We won't adjust it. We'll leave it like that. You see, on the 15th of Feb, the price shot up above that 200 area or that 199 area. A lot of people thought that it was a breakout, but check what happened the next day. Next day, we never had the follow through on the 16th. 17th, nothing. 20th, nothing. It just went down to that, I mean, to this support line, because I mean, once you break above it, that line becomes your support. And it trade around this area, not really giving us anything meaningful here. What we can do now again here, we can on the daily now, because I mean this is your turning point. This is your turning point here. This area here is your turning point. You can put another horizontal line here. Another horizontal line. So it hasn't really broken above this area. I mean, in a reasonable way that shows us that the market is still going to continue moving higher. It just turned around there and it played around. We did not have any follow through. We had this day up, next day negative, this day up, following day negative, and it broke below the moving average on the 14th of April, and the price started moving down. Moving down to where we are now. And now what this market is trying to do is trying to take out 188, 188.43. And every time it tries to get closer to 188.43, buyers come in, the sellers come in and push the price lower on the Standard Bank. Let's check. Let's go back to the monthly. I want to see if I can pick our support levels there. Okay, this is an important area there. Okay, this is an important area. I'm marking this level here, this turning point here. That's an important area. This one also is important, but I prefer maybe not to look at it, because I mean we're going to get confused a lot. And this area also here is important on the monthly. You see there, that area is important. If you check your monthly, all these areas that we've marked have been touched this month. The market this month came down to 171. It touched 171, and buyers were waiting here. They pushed the price up. This area was your support area. Support, and right now it's sitting on support around 180, 184, 185. We have support around 184, 185. That support area is very important. But I mean, even if the price does maybe push higher, we have to make sure that we keep an eye on the previous month's close. The month that we're talking about, we're referring to March. The close in March was 189.70. So as long as the price stays below 189.70, we may still see maybe the stock trading sideways, maybe coming back down to this 172 level that I'm talking about here. I don't know if this is so clear to you. See, is it Caesar? No, it's not Caesar. It's Medisi. I don't know if this is very clear to you, Medisi. Do you understand what I'm trying to explain here? These lines that we drew here using the monthly chart, we are using them as our support on the daily. You see on the daily, we are still using the same lines. It came right down to 171. That was just one day. It went up above 177. It closed very close to 184 there, and currently we are trading above that. I think we're just going to challenge that 188 area, but I think very soon we may see this stock coming back down again. Very soon we may see it coming back down again to these 172, 170 levels that we've marked here. Does it make sense a bit, DC, how we mark these levels? Let's see if you're still there, DC. DC is gone. I'm talking. I'm talking to myself now. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Let us meet tomorrow. DC is gone. I was trying to explain this to him, but he's not there anymore. But I'm sure some of you did pick up something from the same lines that we drew there. They are very important, those support and resistance lines. Guys, thank you very much. Let's meet again tomorrow. You know my email address, sitla@quicktrade.co.za. Thank you.